Good morning. Denise Dryden out here on Bainbridge Island. Using my voice for the first time this morning. That's kind of fun. I've been in my head writing. So today I want to talk about big set-in changes because we're sort of experiencing a lot of big set-in changes quite suddenly, right? I want to talk about, I watched this tarot reader, San. She's amazing. Spent a lot of time on the Evolved Empath Summit, which if you didn't listen to it and didn't purchase it, you still can on the Shift Network. Lee Richard McCormick, who's a guy I follow, who's down in Nashville, awesome guy. And a little bit about Chiron. So we're going to weave all these together when we talk about big set-in changes today, okay? So, you know, everything's really changed very rapidly for us, right? Rapidly, like so fast within a week. Within a week or two, all of a sudden we're working at home. All of a sudden, especially here in the state of Washington, our kids are out of school, our flights are rescheduled, any trips we wanted to take, any social gatherings, these are all out, right? So we have kids at home, we are working at home, we have no sports or live events on TV to watch, no way to sort of disconnect and go do the things we used to do, right? So things changed really fast. And all of this has become sort of what had our attention first, and it's changed rapidly. And so I'm this master of change. I've picked up my family and moved them 5 different times to different states. I know how to sort of move and shift when I see the signs that it's time to change, or when I know that it's time to change for me, or you know, when something suddenly happens, right? So here we are in Washington. Here I am in the epicenter of all of this. And what we're learning is that our structure, our time, and our food, and our work, and our social interactions are all flipped upside down. Nothing that we did before we have access to. Seattle's almost empty. The ferries are a third full, if that. The restaurants are shutting down. The local health food store put a table up across the door and said, we'd love to shop for you, but we don't want you gathering inside the store because we want you to be safe. We're all sort of observing that self-imposed quarantine where we're keeping distance between us and another. We're elbow bumping if we want to say hi. It's hard because those of us who are sort of touch and people oriented are feeling like, wow, this is really different. This is just another sudden change, right? And so we're asking for tools. We're asking for tools on how to homeschool. How do you work from the house? How do you set up meal systems? How do you stock a pantry? How do you do these things when they say you need to be prepared? I've watched men and women going through the grocery store, and the things that they're putting in their cart for the next week or two are good for a day, or good for a night, or good for a day or two, but there isn't this sort of longevity, which is, if things change, how do I start to readapt the way that I do things? So it's like we're being forced into our own self-management, our own relationship management, and our own life management because of this virus that's going on, right? So all of our familiar routines, rituals, patterns, systems, stagnant, unconscious repetitions, they're all being suddenly changed. They're all being flipped on their ear, and we're being told, you know, that those things that didn't work for you, or things that were keeping us unconscious, are now slipping away. So we're being asked to do things differently, to be conscious and with our full attention, because everything is new. We're watching and going, this is something unfamiliar. I haven't done this before. So when we come up on something that's unfamiliar, we sort of expand, we become super focused, and we start to watch. What do I do now? What do I do now? So we're relearning a whole lot of new things. Fatherly Magazine, online magazine, said that this is called the non-normal times. And Lee Richard McCormick was saying, you know, so what are you giving your attention to? And what are you giving your energy to right now? And what is it that you used to that is being changed or flipped on its side, right? So that makes sense. So with this tarot reader, San, she, you know, you can go on YouTube and you can find her. She said that now is the time to be quiet, to let things come to the surface. It's sort of like we're in a forced hermit stage where we're examining our new priorities. Everything's sort of like, well, if that doesn't work now, why? What is it that I'm being asked to do? And the thing is that our entire collective is experiencing all of this together. It's not like we're in this by ourselves going, well, I just lost my job, or I just moved to a new place and I don't know anybody. It is like everybody we know is going through their own version of sudden change. So yeah, there's fear, there's worry, there's panic, there's stress, there's anxiety, because things are changing really fast. And we weren't really prepared. We didn't know if we were prepared. We thought we might be prepared. When we have to figure out, like, how do we get ready? And we can stay in our heads and go like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And if you watch the news and you listen to one more death or one more outbreak or the spread of it into this state or into that state, it's gonna drive you crazy, right? So don't do that. Sort of look at where is it that your stress and your panic and your anxiety is coming from, and then go, what do I need to do to be prepared? Because we have these real fears with our ability to endure our own body, for our own body to endure illness, for those who are elders in our family systems, are they going to be okay? How do we know that our own individual world is going to be okay, let alone the bigger, larger world? And how do we sort of step out of all of these fears and find out what to do when fear arises? Because it seems like this is our greatest challenge, both individually and collectively. Because fear grows when we feel out of control, when we have no control over what's going on outside, and we want to sort of like grab it and shift it and put it into something that makes us feel more comfortable. So a lot of us don't know how to let go of control or how to surrender, right? Surrender? What? You want me to just sort of like go and go with it? So many of us are in this fear stage where we're shopping and we're wiping things down and we're washing our hands and we're freaking out, and we have the kids home from school and we're like, oh no. And it's like, wait, there's another lesson here. So what if we just let go and we let things happen? You know, that we trust that we're gonna get through this. And that whether it's the next weeks or months or however long it takes, we're gonna get through this, right? It's gonna be okay. And we shift out of that tightness, right? That's in us, and we drop our burdens. We drop the focus of our attention on what's not working, and we start to pull back and look at what's working. And we let some stillness in, and we let some space in. Because I think that's what a lot of this is all about, is how do we create stillness and space. So I have some tools for you, because that's what I do on these videos, right? So the first thing I want to start with was that on the Evolved Empath Global Summit through Shift Network, two speakers, Wendy DeRosa and Alan Seal, I listened to them back to back. And what I did was I wove together what I learned from them, what I've been teaching you over the last weeks and months and years on these videos, and thought that I would take you through what I learned by listening to these two, okay? So when we're feeling fear and anxiety in our body, the best thing that we can do is recognize, oh gosh, here I am in fear. And then we go to our pelvic floor. We go right straight to that part between our genitals and our anus, right there, and you go, oh my God, I'm pulled up and I'm not breathing. So what we do is we relax and we take that pelvic floor down, and we let it just sort of melt into the ground, into the earth. And we feel our toes on the ground, and we sort of bend our knees a little bit, and we just let our pelvic floor go down and relax. And then we breathe in and out from that pelvic floor. We actually bring our breath all the way down to as low as we can go. Top of the belly, low to the belly, all the way down to the pelvic floor, and we breathe. And we sink it down, and we sink it down, and we sink it down. And as our lungs expand, and as we breathe in, we start to breathe into our bones. Alan was really good at this. We breathe into our bones. We breathe into the bones of our feet, the bones of our ankles, of our legs, of our hips. We breathe into our spine. We breathe into our shoulders. We breathe into our arms and our hands. And we allow this system to get the oxygen that it needs, because this is how we ground ourselves, right? And so then what we do is, as we're breathing into the spine, Wendy was beautiful with this, is that we sort of, you lean back a little bit into a chair. I'm leaning up against the kitchen counter. I'm, going to support myself. And then the thing to do is to lean back a little bit and trust that you're being held, that you're not in this leaning forward, up, tight, that you first of all loosen your body, and then you start to lean back and you breathe in oxygen to the back of your body. You bring it in through the back of your neck, through the back of your shoulders, through the back of your lungs, through the back of your heart, the back of your hips, and you realize that you're being held, because this is how we experience trust. So this is one exercise, is to go to the pelvic floor to breathe into the bones, and then lean back and build trust in your body system, which says, I can be more observant when I'm here, and I can see space when I'm here, and I calm my system down. Second thing is to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, right? And is your body pulling and clutching, or is your body starting to relax and connecting to the earth? This is all we do. Is it pulled up? Relax it. Keep it relaxed, and all of a sudden you notice, oh no, I'm pulled up again. Relax it. Because this is all new. It's going to take your body some time to figure out, how do I keep grounding? And I like that sort of spread your yoga toes out. Get them out and like clench them. I like to think that there's little what do you call them? Like suckers on the bottom of my feet, and they just go into this, right? So what we do is we pay attention to the things that help. So we get out and we walk in nature, right? We meditate. We sit at the window and we look outside and we go, well, I wonder what the clouds are doing, what the air is doing. For me, I get to see the sound. So I get to watch what the water's doing, what the wind is doing, what the temperature, what the birds are up to, right? Yoga. You can do music. You can dance. You can sing. You can put laughter into your body, and you can smile, because these are all things that happen when we're in a relaxed state. It's almost impossible to do this when we're up here and we're clenched, right? Number 3 is to stay away from things that shut you down, whether it's caffeine, whether it's wine, whether it's alcohol, whether it's recreational drugs, whether it's pharmaceutical drugs that you've been abusing. Pay attention to, are you trying to check out of this and make it go away, or can you reduce those and get them out of your body? Because our immune system is going to be stronger when those aren't in our body, and we need a strong immune system right now. Whether it's the tinctures or the spices or the things that I talked about last week, and the things that I will continue to talk about here on this metaphysical living concept, is that we have to be able to bring our body into its highest level of immune boosting, right? So it means like you focus on clear, fresh foods. You get your vitamins and minerals. You drink a lot of water. And our bodies are our guide. They're going to tell us what we need. And when we're craving something, go like, I think I just need more water, less salt. I can't open another pack of these chips. I need a piece of fruit. I need something that's going to help my body. It's going to nourish me, okay? Number 4, with this extra, and don't touch your face, right? That's what they keep saying, and that's the hardest part for me to do. So with this extra time, connect or reconnect. There's all these lists on Facebook of like, oh, now that you haven't seen your dog in a while, take your dog for a walk. Sit down and have a meal with your kids. Sit down and play cards with your family. Do something that you haven't done before. Play games, read books together, take walks, eat meals together, share in the jobs and chores. Sort of start to do, hey, we have a whole house to manage here now together, and we're all going to have a system. How do we do this? So what we do is we beat all of this with joy, absolute joy, right? So when big sudden changes happen, we bring ourselves into focus. It's like, big change, what do I do? We expand our senses. What do I hear? What do I feel? What am I noticing? And we bend our knees and we become more flexible. Think of how you play sports. Something's coming. Like I used to play softball. Something's coming. You bend your knees, you get ready. And you respond to whatever comes your way. Because when big sudden changes happen, we have to have a healthy body, we have to be resilient, and we have to be ready, and we have to be flexible. Because great things are happening right now. You got to trust this. We are loosening our grip on old patterns, old systems that kept us shut down in unconsciousness. And those stuck patterns, as they release, are going to start to open us up into like, hey, I'm more human. I'm more interactive. I'm a humanitarian. I'm interacting with the world on a different level. So take care of yourself. Let that love and passion in. Let it come to the surface. Take some grounded breaths and let these changes surprise you and see what happens. Because I think all of this is really challenging and really hard, and it's taking us in a direction of something that we don't even know yet. So enjoy it. And I'm here. You can always find me on DeniseDrydenCoaching.com. I have other videos. I've got some courses, and I also have some Chiron work that can help you as to what area of this have you been struggling in. So you have a great Sunday. Be safe. Talk with you next week. Bye-bye.